Hey, this is Jen. I hope everybody's good. Thank you for being here. Welcome back. Welcome if you're new. I'm here with an energy update of the current energy, what's going on in the collective, and also energy for the twin flames. We're almost in April, just a couple of days away, and let's not be fooled at this time with the illusions that we see with our own eyes. Meaning that whatever is happening physically is about to change. A lot of things will start manifesting and will start showing up physically because it is the perfect time to start taking action physically into doing things that we love, we like, and that are aligned with our truth and authenticity in order to reflect the change that we've been working on for so long, so long. We've been in this phase of working spiritually so hard, and now we're about to see the results of that physically. So really, really amazing progress being done here, and it's all about the change, and we're going to start seeing that also within us, in the sense that everybody is on the verge of becoming more sensitive in every sense of the word. Sensitive physically, sensitive spiritually, sensitive. So physical senses being upgraded. In the past few months, we've been working spiritually and having our nervous system being upgraded. And that could be very demanding for someone to go through that. And now we're about to see physically those changes happening. So our senses, sense of sight, of smell, of taste, everything is about to change and become more active or become more effective. Like being able to see better with our eyes, being able to taste more, smell more, and sense more, just like the animals. They sense it when danger is around the corner. They sense it when there's a thunderstorm about to come. And why are they able to do it? It's because they're aligned and they're connected to the universe and all that is. They're connected in the unified field, so they're able to sense that. They don't have an ego. So there's no ego to come in the way of them using their senses. So this is about to happen with human beings, people being more sensitive. So that may mean for some people that they will hear better, like hearing people's thoughts. We've all been talking about the veil being so thin. So it's really a time to be extremely authentic with our senses becoming more active or aware. We're going to be able to pick up on one another much more easily. Therefore, being able to sense and to feel what other people are thinking or feeling. So sensing other people's energy, hearing what they're telling themselves inside, seeing what they're trying to hide. That could be scary for some, but it's actually a really beautiful thing. And if we're all true to ourselves and authentic, this is a wonderful thing to witness. And it goes with, if you're familiar with body work, like osteopathic treatments or massage therapists or body work in general, For a very long time, they used to think that we had 12 cranial nerves when actually we have 13. And that 13th one is related to senses, sensing. And they call it the nerve zero because really it's like the foundation of who we are as human beings. And it got lost and it got like asleep along the way, along human evolution, and now it's about to be restored. Some people are about to complete that cycle of being restored to their original state. And some people are just about to start that process, their awakening process. So remember how it was when you started awakening. We ask ourselves a bunch of questions because we don't know what's happening to us. We see that we are changing, but we don't understand. And when it first happens, well, it could be very not scary, but like making us feel uneasy and leaving us with I don't know what's happening here, but things are definitely not the way they used to be, and I feel that there's no going back. And that's true, there is no going back. Once those channels are open, there is no going back. There's only one way to go, and it's forward, and we're right in it. So physically, all the senses are being upgraded, and it will show up physically, like I said, as seeing better, hearing better, feeling better, sensing better. So sensing other people, energy, thoughts. So being clean is really important. This will happen spiritually as well. So having our energies clean and our thoughts clean is really important because people will sense it right away. And if we don't want to attract negative karma, if we don't want to create negative karma or situations, having clean thoughts is a foundation that needs to be part of ourselves in daily lives 100% of the time. Even if it's hard to do, it's easy to lose that connection to ourselves. It's really easy to. We need to work on keeping it very solid within ourselves and just follow that track and that path. And that goes for the divine masculine as well. They are integrating that physically. They've been working a lot spiritually, receiving all kinds of upgrades and downloads. Them too, not only the divine feminine. And a lot of them are in that state of feeling more at ease and in balance within. So the union of the divine feminine and masculine within. If you've been receiving symbols lately that represents a balance, like the yin yang, or any kind of symbol that represents a balance, that's what it is. It's the union of the feminine and masculine within, along with the clearing of the throat chakra. As you can tell, a lot of people will start going through clearing their throat chakra in order to bring that authenticity that we need to embody and to bring those energies of speaking our truth. The divine masculine is about to go deeper into speaking their truth because they know themselves so much better now. With all the work that they've been doing, they've been able to release a lot of hurt and a lot of past pain, and they're now able to see who they are in their authentic, divine way, and they're about to start speaking their truth. So changing behaviors towards karmic situations and people that no longer belong in their lives, putting up boundaries where they were unable to, and embodying their divine selves on a regular basis, daily basis, basically integrating that. There's no going back, and they know it, and they know that they've been working a lot. And for a lot of them, it represents a stepping stone, a major breakthrough. And since we all have the divine masculine within, we are all having major breakthroughs. So it's important to stay in balance in order to be able to go from one stepping stone to another, to keep on working on that progress, and not to stay stagnant or stuck as much as possible. Even if feeling stuck is normal, it happens to everyone. We reach a point where we're able to recognize when we're about to be stuck, and we're able to recognize which tools should be used to transform that right away and much faster. So spiritually, our thoughts, our energies, our vibe, what we bring to the table, what we bring to an event, what we bring to a room is about to change drastically in a very positive way. So it's important to stay positive, to put positive out there. There's also all kinds of stuff going on with time, like time speeding up, time slowing down, like a task that would take an hour to do. It could have happened lately that you've been able to achieve it or complete it in 20 minutes, and the opposite way too. A task that would take you 20 minutes, but now taking an hour. This is called time contraption, and we are in that. Time is an illusion and doesn't really exist. Therefore, when that happens, it's all related to energy and how we are feeling at that time, and what kind of energy is influencing us at that time. So it's easy when we feel that time is speeding up. Usually it means that there's something positive. There's a positive flow of energy supporting us. It's speeding up. When it's slowing down, doesn't necessarily mean that we are influenced by a negative energy, but I would say 90% of the time it means that it's slowing down because it's calling our attention. It's calling us to pay attention to something. Why is it suddenly taking more time for me to accomplish this? What do I need to release and let go in order to be at ease in the flow instead of being in a density that doesn't feel comfortable? The message is pretty clear when that happens. And sometimes there's absolutely no other reason than just we need to chill. We need to relax and just rejuvenate and rest and take it easy and not push, and that's all. And follow that. So these are things that come and they go in our lives, and we need to pay attention to this. We need to, because it's the flow. And when we are able to navigate, excuse me, easily in that flow, everything becomes easier. We suddenly stop being worried about time, about not having enough time, because we know that if something is taking longer to do, we know that we will have an opportunity where something will take less time than expected, and that will allow us to do whatever we need to do to stay in balance with our task or our work or whatever we were doing. So a lot of time contraption is happening at this time, and that's okay. That's a sign that things are changing and switching around and being moved and being worked on. We're also working on bridging the gap of cognitive dissonance. For those who don't know what it means, what cognitive dissonance means, it's a state of perception where someone is in conflict, mentally in conflict. Like, for example, a trigger is a state of cognitive dissonance. A mental conflict where we are hearing the truth, but we rigidly refuse to hear it, and we start acting in the opposite way. That's cognitive dissonance. It's where our mental or our ego is trying to create a conflict for us not to see something, for us to keep on refusing to see something. So that's very typical in spirituality, in human beings, I should say, and in twin flame connections. Very typical. Like, we can't say that the runner, even if I don't like labels, we can say that the runner most probably has shown a lot of cognitive dissonance. Okay, so we are healing that. So that can mean a lot of things. Healing separation, but mostly what I am referring to when I'm talking about bridging the gaps or filling the gap of cognitive dissonance is for the collective energies. So for everyone to be pushed into seeing a deeper layer of their truth, a deeper layer of consciousness, and shift in perception. So when we're able to achieve that, usually we're able to relate to things differently, relate to things or people or event, past or present. So you can test it yourself and look around and see, for example, if there's someone that is bothering you for some reason, try looking at that person and notice how you feel. Most probably at this time you're feeling differently and you're feeling lighter instead of being repelled. So that's the gap that is being filled. Some people will say, we're healing the separation. It's all the same thing. We're all acting on a different consciousness level, allowing us the change in our perception. And that goes with the physical sensitivity being more intense or leveled up. It's allowing us to perceive things differently. So a lot of situation relating to karma will start showing up for a lot of people in order for them to realize that this is going on at this time. And in order for them, or for us, because we're all in it, for us to realize this has changed. We're now seeing it this way now. And you can, if you're really self-aware, you're feeling this already. Or you're starting to see it in other people. You're starting to see that change in other people. And if you're seeing it in other people, it means that you have it as well. You're doing the same thing in one way or the other. That's why you're able to see it in other people. It's a mirror game. So if you're seeing, for example, someone suddenly changing the way they act or they behave towards a specific situation, look at yourself. It doesn't mean it's the same situation, but look at yourself. You're more than likely acting the same way or changing and embodying that kind of change at the same time that this person. That's why you're able to recognize it outside of yourself. That's what it means to be self-aware, is to be able to recognize those patterns. And everything that we're going through right now is really the physical proof of this entire process and mechanic behind a change, that it starts spiritually. We work on it spiritually and energetically as well, and then it shows up physically. It's always like that. It's always the same cycle for everything, and it never stops. As long as we're alive, we're gonna deal with stuff like that. We're gonna deal with changes like that. We're gonna deal with that cycle repeating over and over again in our lives. So to become a master at ourselves, and when we say know thyself, that's what it means. Know these cycles. Get familiar with them. Get familiar where these cycles are not fluid and very fluid, and balance them out. It's a game. It's a game of always, like when you're juggling balls, for example, always keeping the ball in the air. That's the same thing for us in life. It's not easy. I'm not saying that it is, because it's really not easy. At times we're so cluttered or clouded that it's hard to see where we're about to drop the ball. And when we feel like that, the only thing we can really do is stop, rest, meditate, get away for a moment to find our clarity again. For some people, it means focusing on it more, and for some people, it means walking away. In my case, taking a pause and walking away from things really helps because when I come back, I have a fresh new energy and perception on the same situation. But it could be any way, really, because we're all different. So, bridging that gap means that the collective is moving up in this ascension game, spiritual awakening, moving up the ladder. So it's one move after the other, just like in a chess game. Sometimes we make a move and we need to wait for the other player to make their move. So if you feel that things are slowing down right now, that's because you made your move and you need to wait for the other players to make their move. So it's really a time to just be happy, bubbly, in compassion, embody love, and keep on working on yourself. Do not start complaining that things are slowing down. They're not. They're just keeping in balance. They're just keeping in balance. And when we're able to integrate that kind of thinking into our everyday life and we're able to apply it and transpose it to every department and aspect of our lives, we suddenly start seeing, there's no problem. There's only solutions. And there's only ways of dealing with the situation. And when you're able to recognize which move you need to make or which tool you need to use at one time, at one specific time, you never feel stuck. You just feel like you're empowered. And that's what we're working on as a collective right now, which is amazing. So there's really a lot more magic coming up, a lot more changes that may feel like magic is happening in people's lives. Some people will go through tower moments to let go of what no longer serves them, through situation where they will be faced and they will be pushed to realize that it's time to let go of certain things or people or situation. A lot of chapters in karma will be dealt with also. Chapters closing and new one beginning. So old situations, events, or people may show up in our awareness or physical reality in order to shift that. Either close the chapter or start a new one towards that same person, situation, or event. Meaning compassion, forgiveness, always, 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 but meaning this person, is this person part of my future or not? Is this person part of my present and part of my future or not? Am I closing the chapter on this person or starting a new chapter with this person under a new setting, a new perception? So we're all facing situations like that now. So it's not a time to be afraid of doing what we need to do, taking physical action to embody the spiritual work that we've been doing so intensely in the past few months, and just going with the flow with this, allowing these situations to show up or these people to show up. And this may come as people you haven't heard from in a long time coming back, or suddenly being in contact with you, or synchronicities of suddenly meeting them. In order to work on these chapters, what do we do about that? So again, taking decisions from your heart, always the best thing to do. We're also about to go through the end of annoying physical symptoms. So that's really amazing because it was getting very intense. So that those annoying physical skin itchiness and sleep patterns being so disturbed, it's all about to be restored. And the sleep patterns have been touching a lot of the twin flames. A lot of the divine masculine were receiving so many downloads at night and so much guidance at night that it was disturbing the sleep patterns for the people involved in that connection. And now that's about to be restored because we're reaching that state of balance of the divine feminine, divine masculine, and things will just move more smoothly from that point on. Just allowing things to unfold naturally is, of course, always the best choice to make. Um, and just allowing them to show up when they're ready, not trying to push them or anything. So just being balanced yourself first, and then you're going to start seeing that happening physically in your life. And being in balance in 100% of the time. And I know sometimes we get disconnected and we go one way or the other, and that's normal. That's totally human behavior. It's normal to do that. But we should be able at this time to just recognize it a lot faster and just be bringing ourselves back into that state of balance. That's what the divine masculine has been working on as well. That's what they're able to physically recognize and what some will say in the 3D. What they're able to see now where they were not in balance in their behaviors in one way or the other, the negative or a positive way. And now they're able to see, oh, this is what I need to do in order to stay myself and aligned with my authenticity and my truth, and in order to move forward without feeling any kind of density. So that's a major progress for the divine masculine and everyone. Really major progress, because a lot of people were just not aware of this, and now they are. And it's good for them because they are gaining the level of self-love that was lacking before. So really quite amazing to see this. So that's it for now. If you would like to book a reading or get in touch with me, you can do so using my Facebook page at Indigo Girls Readings, or my Instagram at indigogirl555, or my email at indigogirl555 at gmail.com. Thank you so much for being here. And until the next time, enjoy the weekend and be well. Bye-bye.